And we're back!
This is a freeware traditional game.
Still.
Swords.
Even though
Swords. Seas of Pain.
Yes, that's just...
Extremely high score. This must be you.
I don't know. I mean... I don't think, doing well it gives you a higher... Actually, I guess you get a higher score for your lives at the end of the game. On the other hand, I haven't really been paying attention to how much score you get from killing enemies and such, so... I mean, maybe you can get more score if you let yourself die a bunch of times. I don't know.
I'll be the one to find that out eventually.
You don't need to play this game anymore. This is the last video we're at least doing for this LP. I mean, it's a good game, but...
I know. It's such a relief, though. I mean, the game is really good, and it's also really harrowing. It's those later stages.
Yeah,
I'm just chilling back, you know, I've got, you know, Mai Tai, I'm good. Just... This game can't get me down anymore.
I want to point out right now that the video we're watching right now, I recorded yesterday. And it's the first time I've played this game since we did the race. So it's been a while since I played it. You might wonder why that is, and it's because I thought I had a recording from back then that I've been sitting on, but apparently I must have deleted it by mistake, so I had to re-record. And
you forgot to collect all of my tears, and so you didn't actually get the final recording.
Oh, man. Sorry about that.
But no, I think that the point here is obviously your playstyle is going to be different from mine in the sense that it's like good and stuff, but also in the sense that we'll see some things like good endings. I assume
we'll see the best ending. Yes. However,
perfect.
No. I can tell you this right now. I'm going to die in some hilarious ways. In some unexpected places.
Oh, the tables have turned.
Not as many times, obviously, since I don't actually get a game over. But still, it was kind of the two deaths specifically that I'm thinking of were kind of embarrassing. Very silly, but they're not going to happen in this level, at least.
It looks like you have kept on with the sickle, which... One thing I've learned from talking with people who ended up playing this game, there seems to have been a lot of people who wanted to race it or just tried it out after we started, was everybody seems to have their own favorite, but we seem to agree that the sickle works best for us.
Yeah, the sickle is just... It just deals more damage than the other weapons, and that's that. And if you can stay in the enemy's face throughout, then you're going to be killing them faster.
Well, why wouldn't you get close to this enemy's face? I mean, look at it. He's gorgeous.
Adorable, yeah. No, actually, I don't like this boss.
Some big floating beanie baby.
Just bad at getting at the thing. Actually, it's not too bad in this level, but in the final level, he's kind of annoying. I don't know why. It just takes forever to kill those extra Saramplas.
He's taken like he's taken like 5 levels without showering, you know. Even more gross than before.
I think that's what's going on. Where was it? Oh yeah. Obviously Robot Goat did really well, and apparently there is a thing in this game that I don't think I've gotten ever, which is if you beat the game in under, I think it's 35 minutes. I think it's 35 minutes, maybe it's 45, I don't know. But there's a special speedrun bonus that you can get if you beat the game so fast. But I don't remember exactly how fast it needs to be, but I don't think I've gotten it.
It does seem like the game was designed with speedrunning being something that you could consider. It's designed partially with that in mind, then.
Not this part, but most of the game, yes. I do think the axe is probably, like, if you optimize your run, the axe is probably better in more situations than I'm aware of, just because it lets you hit enemies in places where, like, an enemy can be off level with you, but you can still hit it because you have the axe, which you can't do with the sickle.
I mean, you could break perspective and just throw axes directly into the castle, and then, you know, you'll kill Crazy Quixote right away. That'll speed things up. It's that good.
Yeah. That reminds me, I just saw some Dark Souls 2 footage, and apparently you can deflect enormous axes that get thrown at you, or you can have them lodge themselves in your face.
What horrors?
Oh.
So more or less, you can be Crazy Quixote.
Yes, pretty much.
That's great.
I'm sure that you can speedrun the game even more if you keep the high jump boots well, longer than I do. I have trouble getting through the section using them. I just jump into the windmills too easily, so I always trade it away.
Yeah.
But you can probably get through the section, especially with the flying platforms, easier if you can jump higher. You can probably jump to the next platform sooner.
I never liked the high jump boots though,
yeah.
Just because the way that I learned to play the game, you know, there's so much about your jump that you have to learn that if the mechanics suddenly change for your jump, oh rip. But if the mechanics suddenly change for your jump and you're not used to it, I mean, there were those times in the last level that I would just leap into the fire because I forgot that I was wearing boots.
Yeah. I don't actively try to concern myself with speedrunning more than, you know, feels good to do. Like I get just like when we play Mega Man games, I'm gonna assume that most of us, I say, both of us,
most of us, at least 1.5 of the two of us, will do this.
Majority of our persons. When we play through them pretty quickly, even if we're not really racing against someone, just because we're good enough at them that that's what feels good to do.
Yeah. Well, wasn't there the thing where somebody won an arcade cabinet of this game for being the best at it? Like, I don't know if that was time or if it was high score, but I think it was time.
It was time. I think the final... the record, I think... I'm not sure if it was at the contests. Because... No, or maybe that was a second contest, but...
Were there people, like, live in this contest playing against one another, like, side by side, or was it just we take turns on the console, or, you know?
I saw Locomalito tweeting about a contest, speedrun contest, where an arcade cabinet was the prize. And he kept posting times. I think the lowest I saw was 29 minutes, or something like that, which is insane.
I agree.
It's yeah. I want to see that. That sounds amazing.
I think it took me 29 minutes to beat the last level, or to beat the last boss. Even the one that I said oops in so much.
It takes a while.
Which is shameful. Well, I wonder if I think I know of somebody who, with the axe here, just because there are different angles that you can kill these things with.
You can get 2 lives here.
Did Robot Goat say that he's gotten 2 lives out of this before?
Yeah, I've done that too, and just that makes the axe really good. But on the other hand, you don't. After a while, like if you get good enough at the game, you don't really need extra lives as much.
Good old hurdles. It's good for the old knees there.
Yeah, I basically I learned that from Robot Goat too. That I should just jump over them, because they don't come back if you don't hit them. If you hit them...
Yeah, they're running away. They're like Crazy Quixote's sidekicks, or like, alright, I've got to go back, it's my shift, the rest of you can go home.
They're just out jogging in full armor.
Put on your chainmail. But I guess it's right to expect, you know, Robot Goat to be really good at this, considering that he playtests Mega Man dongs.
That's mostly me, actually. Or I'm sure he does too, but he doesn't tell me about it. But he usually sends me versions that I look over. He hasn't done in a while, because he's been, in case you're wondering, he's just been really busy. So he hasn't been able to work at it. And I think he was actually a little bit stuck on making a thing work, so he decided to put it on hold for a while. But, you know, it's gonna resume.
I didn't actually realize that these things fear cliffs. I guess I never got to that point where I saw that in their AI.
Yeah, it just makes things easier to program, I suppose. If they can't walk off things. I don't know.
You're skipping jumping on the bed. It doesn't give you bonuses or anything, but don't you like fun?
It doesn't really propel you up. If it was bouncier, I might do it.
It's like a waterbed or something, it just absorbs the momentum.
It just feels terrible.
And that's how we know that the forces of evil are bad. They hate fun.
They hate fun.
They don't keep fun things around, you know. There's a bed, but you can't jump on it. Can't take a nap in it. Can't do anything. That's just there just for sleeping. They're all business.
That's so strange too, considering this is Don Quixote's castle. He should be all about the fun.
They did hide drinks in the statue.
That's true. I should.
Maybe they just have to sneak around for their fun.
I should have poisoned it like in a Hitman game. Instead, just have the enemies sneak back to have a drink, and then they just collapse, and I get some extra points.
That'll teach you. These things like to have fun though, but they're dead. So it's kind of a win some, lose some situation.
Yeah, any damage they cause seem entirely incidental. Like it's not really their intention, but what can you do? Just, you know, you have to get through.
It's Soul Train, except with actual souls.
But yeah.
Oh, that was good.
To talk a little bit of tactics here, this entire level is, or at least this room, which is a very big room, is easier if you have the ball and chain, and it's really the only place in the game where the ball and chain is better than some other weapon, just because you're able to shoot through terrain. You could use the axe as well if you're not intending to get the extra life, but I figured I should get the extra life because I don't know, since I haven't played the game for a long time, I don't know offhand if I'm gonna do well or not once I get to the final level, or if I'm gonna die a bunch in the forest for no reason or what have you. I wasn't sure when I started recording this if I was gonna do well or not.
So it's possible to just go through this chamber and keep your shield and not die horribly.
Yeah, this.
I knew I would learn something from this playthrough.
Yeah. The trick to that room is that you jump from the chains before you're on level with the platforms, so that when you land on the platforms, you're at the peak of your jump. What that means is you can. The faces that shoot on you has just come on screen and haven't been shooting it for a while yet. So you have time to jump to another chain before they start getting up in your business.
Before the faces get up in your face.
Mechanical Goat also said that, yeah, you can just go straight through to the last platform here if you're fast enough, but I hesitated because I was scared. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure what's gonna happen, so... But I still made it. I got the achievement book. And it's time for hilarious death number 2. Like, what the hell am I doing?
Spoilers? I want to be surprised.
Yeah, but I'm so annoyed. Like, dying on this boss, which I'm pretty sure I said in your fight against him that he's actually really easy and there's no problem at all. And then I die
realized that.
It's video game shame. Video shame.
Guess I'll just shit shit there. Apparently.
Yep.
My words didn't really happen.
Well,
anyway, dancing knives.
It kind of works because Ramiro got a dagger shoved up his ass, so it's topical.
Goody. It's topical. The dagger is also applied topically, so it works on so many levels. Continue thinking about it, please.
This is what we'll spend the rest of the video talking about.
Yeah. Skip to the end, it's still the same thing. But this probably is my favorite boss. Just because, well, for one reason, I like bosses that aren't too hard. Sound pathetic. But it's actually just the mix of things. It's not even that it has to be that difficult.
Yeah.
But it does keep you on your toes. Each thing can be different, and it's just, all right, I know the solutions. I've just gotta hang in there.
Yeah, he has variety on his side.
Exactly. I just find that really entertaining.
Yeah. A lot of the bosses are very repetitive, and like you know most of the time what's going to exactly happen. With Crazy Coyote, you don't know offhand if he's going to do one pattern and then do another pattern, or if he's gonna jump away, or like there's an element of unpredictability. So
well, that's just his deal. He's crazy.
Yeah, it's not that crazy though.
Quixotes.
He only has 2 different patterns.
Let's go to Crazy Quixote's discount library. Why is it discounted? Everything's on fire.
Yeah.
Except the one fireproof book.
Also, I made a point of showing that you can walk in water there.
I eventually did that. I eventually worked up the courage to be able to walk on water.
And there's a Lady of the Lake showing us a sword we can't have. You know, this game would be so much easier if we could just go down there and grab Excalibur. I think. I'm gonna assume that it's powerful in this world as well.
No, it's actually, I mean, it's just for show. It's not even, it's made of aluminum, you know. Oh, great.
She runs the gift shop, that's all. It's plastic,
I didn't realize that Excalibur was made in Taiwan.
You know, it just...
all the things you learn.
Strike that out, alright? Also, at this point I was kind of worried. I didn't really want to die again in a level that was not the last level. But I got hit a lot by the flies for reasons I cannot explain.
It's the intimidation factor.
Yeah. Another trick right there, to avoid getting hit by the energy drink, you need to climb down on the vine and jump so that you can do the same thing. You land on the platform at the peak of your jump, because otherwise the monster water will be in your face before you have time to land, and you'll get hit.
Yeah, you're gonna get your thirst quenched.
Yeah. And you don't want that, apparently.
Yeah. No, I feel bloated. That's why I'm trying to jog off this sweat. That's totally a thing that makes sense. I understand exercise.
And here is another one of the achievements, in case you've forgotten. To not hurt the sirens. It's not that hard to achieve, honestly, but you can feel really stupid if you accidentally fire when jumping. The scythe is extraordinarily powerful against Tarrasque, just because he just stands there on level with you. So you can kill him very, very quickly.
I like to think that you don't. I mean, you don't actually kill him. He just turns back into a turtle. He just yawns or belches out all of the extra, you know.
Yeah, it was just
Oh,
bloated.
that's such a relief.
Yeah. I'm smaller now, and my...
This is coated with antacid. It helps.
This cave here is probably the most... like, one of the places that takes the most strategy. And it's probably one where you will fuck up. Like, even if you're good at games, you'll probably fuck up this place without even knowing it. Like, even if you notice the vine and you go up here, you won't really realize that it's a good thing to leave the chests behind. Now,
Yeah, it's definitely get double shield, double wield, this double shield. But it's so counterintuitive. It's one of these things where, and old games are like this, and this is in that style that you have to know a little bit in advance.
Yeah.
You definitely won't get it right on your first try.
Yeah. And I don't think that's really wrong, because the first time through you're probably not going to get all the tears. You're probably going to die a bunch of times, so the fact that you will fuck up getting all this hyper secret achievement things in this cave is not something you should be concerned about.
Yeah, you definitely needed to worry about keeping that meat.
Like, if you're looking up things on GameFAQs and you run out of time when going through this cave, and you go, bullshit, bad game design. And you're like, no, you're a moron. It's not a game made, like, it's not intended for you to get everything on your first try, so why try to cheat the system? Just enjoy the fucking game.
I get the feeling that this is near and dear to your heart.
Yes, I kind of tired of games giving you everything, like, right away. Like, no, we have to make sure that the player finds everything on the first try, because, you know, it would be exciting otherwise.
There's part of me that doesn't like the aspect where it's impossible to get it on the first try. Where if it were very, very difficult, that would be that would probably be the sweet spot. But if it's literally impossible, that's a problem.
Well, depends on what it is. I mean, some games can, like, in this case, it's not really impossible, but you're supposed to build on your experience as you play. You get better at the game, and the next time you play, you will be able to get more stuff just because of the fact that you play better.
It's also not, in a longer game it would be a problem, but this isn't a particularly long game, so like the replay value actually matters a whole lot.
Yeah. And I think that it's not a problem as long, like, it's okay to miss things or not get the best whatever, as long as you get something, like, get something different.
Do you remember how excited I was when I got my high score the first time through? Even though it took me 2 hours and I died a million times and didn't do the last level? There was still a sense of accomplishment there.
Yeah.
You know, I was the greatest. The greatest to ever play this game on my own computer.
Yeah.
I'm the best.
And also, I think the worst ending is an ending that you should see, because it's actually a pretty cool ending. Where you come back and the king is evil.
Yeah, it makes sense. It incentivizes the...
So
you gotta go back and you gotta slice up better.
Yeah. That, but I also think the scene itself is kind of cool.
No, it's hilarious. It's great. I think it's really funny when dudes are killed by demons. Apparently, that's what I tune into Comedy Central for. You know, right after the Daily Show, we're gonna have demons killing people in a 2-hour special. It's the roast of several heroes. Yeah.
Man, that channel has been weird for a while.
Yeah, it kind of took a turn for the weird.
But yeah, for that boss specifically, yes, the axe is really good for him because...
No, it looked really good. It looked like that really made a lot of things... I mean, just being able to hit the thing shortened it a lot, and I know that was a big deal when I was playing, is that it felt like I was going to be stuck going on with that forever.
Yeah.
And this looks awesome. This looks really good.
Yeah. I didn't get a second one-up, but I think I was close. Whatever. I don't need them. I have 7 lives. I'm alright.
Well, you know that now.
Yeah.
You know, if it were me, I'd have fallen apart emotionally. I couldn't get the life.
Yeah.
I'm screwed beyond belief. How could you do this to me? And I'd blame you, and pretend that this guy had your face.
Good
make
times.
Fun of you, and all those things that we do.
Yeah. Marvelous.
I think it would be funnier if that were actually Mendoza, the big lumbering thing.
That'd be,
they transformed me into some kind of Muppet.
Yeah, but how would you know? That's the thing.
I don't know. You could have a Scarlet M that he's wearing, and you'll know.
Scarlet M?
No, it's... I'm not in charge of... Old games don't have that much in the way of good plot,
Yeah.
Let somebody else come up with it. As long as there's exciting gameplay and fun gimmicks.
I actually almost forgot about the tier. I ran through here. I was like, wait a minute! I was just about to jump past the vine, and I was like, wait a minute! It's in this room, isn't it?
He yells back from the tree, "Get me out of here! I'm made of wood! Don't forget about your old pal, Splinter. Because he's made of wood,
Yeah.
I hope you know I prepared heavily for this with dumb jokes.
Yeah, me too, yeah. That's why my commentary so far has been nothing but hilarity. But I can say something else about this level, I guess.
Oh, that's good. That was a good move.
The axe is really good in this entire level. There is nothing in this level that the axe doesn't make easier. Those enemies right there, the axe doesn't help against so much, but you're not supposed to kill them anyway, so it doesn't matter. It makes the boss hilariously easy, which is good because otherwise he's hilariously hard. And, well,
as long as you're
much
enjoying
harder,
yourself,
let's just say.
He's good either way.
Yeah.
Except he could be a big lumbering green thing here. That could be his transformation. Maybe when we do our ROM hack of this.
Just change the color to... Actually, why does the... Why does it become blue? Anyway.
Well, they're wearing their team uniforms.
Alright.
He switches into their jersey,
Laura.
and that's how you know he's been traded to the evils.
And I suppose the growing vines are the cheerleaders? Is that a thing?
Sure. They seem to be big
Or maybe
fans.
those growths on the trees on the sides there.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday at Creepy Tree Stadium. Only one man will make it out alive.
I don't want to go.
Everyone else will be dead and corpsed up, and it will be actually pretty funny.
Woo! Alright. Now...
I still, every time I look at those candles, I have always assumed that they are spikes, and they are not.
No.
And it has made maneuvering in this room extremely stupid for me, through no fault of the game.
This section, the axe doesn't actually... I don't really feel that it makes this part easier, but it most definitely makes the cauldron easier.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's gotta be one of the... It can reach.
Yeah.
That alone.
If you could reach the cauldron with some other weapon, then I would have traded the axe out.
Oh, there's
when going in
Dectilon's
here.
trick.
Yeah.
The one that I never used because I never understood it.
Yeah.
but it really works.
Yeah. I like doing that rather than trying to go down the chains on the left side. And
This is like the big Gatorade thing for the team.
and there it goes.
Wow. Wow, that's actually like not cheesing it. That's probably the first time I've ever seen that. Because when we did race, you know, I didn't watch it back because I didn't want to know what the best ending was.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
I duct taped that part of the screen up just so that I wouldn't know. So I actually don't know what happens in the very end. And my screen is sticky.
Oh.
It's hard to get the duct tape off, you know. It's not designed to come off easily.
Rip
Wow.
part of the screen clean off.
That looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with this fight. It went surprisingly well.
I've never had that many points before. Oh, I think someone explained to me that the more you pierce the shield, maybe the more snakes come out.
Maybe.
Doesn't look true. Doesn't look true. 5 came out and you didn't hit it a whole bunch, so whoever that was, who I totally remember, was wrong and a bad person. Now they know.
Yeah, I never noticed. It just seems like there more snakes come out the longer
Later
the fight
on,
goes on.
Yeah. I was given a false positive.
False positive for snake.
This
I'm sorry,
Lizarel?
Figgle, you're snake positive. I don't know what this means, but
check out this guy's incredible sideburns. I mean, look at that. You know, you've got like the wolf horn head, but then you've got these 2 winged sideburns.
I think those are supposed to be ears. But
I
sure,
like mine better.
sideburns.
To the outworld.
Yep. Choose your destiny.
I had to say that if you hadn't told me that Chapter 6 was the last level, I would have been really freaked out that I'd missed an entire half of the game and would presumably take several days to complete it.
Yeah.
Because it looks, I mean, it's a full map, so...
Oh, yeah.
No, it's just a long level.
It's very long. I don't know. I haven't really thought about how long it is. But let's see. There's this section. There's the section after with the boat. There's the mini boss. There's the cathedral room, which you can go through pretty quickly, but I mean it's still a big room. Then it's the vertical room, and then you're done.
Yeah,
so
then it's prepare to die.
About twice as long as the previous level, maybe something like that. Also, I was fucking up a lot here. For no reason.
I was wondering if there was actually going to be contact damage, if you were going to get eaten.
I would have, but I contact damaged them first with my sights. So I got to live a little while longer, but as you might imagine, it's time for another death very soon, because there's no health pickup until you get past the first portholes.
Well, I think part of the reason that this level is so long that you're seeing the different flags of the different nations that you're running through, and you're practically running through an entire globe of pain. You know, it's not the level of pain; it's the realm.
Yeah, and they have their own flag, I suppose. Well, it's the flag of the same kingdom. I guess they're basically saying, you did this. This is your own fault. You brought this on yourselves.
Wow, that's deep.
I think that's the... I mean, they
that
do
probably
say
is
that
actually
in the
implication. It's...
They do say that in the intro, that the Sea of Pain was born from wars. Now, I should say something about this area. First of all, don't get too close to the demons with the spawning souls, which may seem obvious, but the fact that the souls come out a bit in front of them means that if you stand too close to them to shoot at them, the souls will come out right under your feet and you'll take damage. And you won't be able to react in time. Second thing, you see the cross down there?
Oh, yeah.
You can actually, like, from the leftmost monk guy to the rightmost, you can actually stand there on the water.
Interesting.
And if you crouch there, you get like a coin, I think. You know, you don't get anything good, but like you can get a thing.
If you look at those guys, you can almost see their like arms and things as giant #1 foam fingers. This is the team bus.
And it ran ashore.
Somehow. Well, it was an aqua bus that went horribly awry.
Right here. You see that guy? Right there? I've gotten hit by his souls because I ran up the stairs to jump up and shoot him. Yeah, and because it feels further away that way. But if you do that, the souls will come up into your souls, and you'll take damage. As for armor death, you want to cheese him to death, because why wouldn't you?
He forgot to armor. You know, he's not wearing anything to cover up the inside of the armor, and there's just a big hole there, since he doesn't have pants.
Poor guy. Well, he's dead now, so it's alright.
He's extra dead. I mean, he was death.
Yeah. All in all, when it comes to armor death, you can dodge his stuff from afar, but it's much harder, and there's really no point to challenging that. The level is long enough as it is, and if you're trying to get the speedrun bonus, you want to do that anyway, because it is the fastest way. However, and it's worth pointing out that if you take too long killing him, that with that method, his sights will slightly change direction, and you won't be able to stand under him anymore. At least not where you stood initially.
Yeah, he's a slightly off rhythm, so
yeah.
Eventually it would not be as safe a spot.
Yeah, his movement is not synced with how often he attacks. So eventually you will get hit by things if you just stand under him. But it takes him 3 laps, I guess, going up and down before that happens. So you can probably kill him before anything goes wrong. By the way, if you're wondering about the utility of the cross at the boat, you know, the invisible platform, if you already have a weapon, you can actually skip out on a big chunk of the boat if you just jump down to the cross and jump ashore. But if you don't have a weapon, then you want to take the top road anyway, so you can get one for killing armor death. So there's that. If you manage to retain your weapon all the way there, then you don't need to do that part. Also, I'm still bad at fighting the Manticore.
What? Don't you recognize his pattern?
I do, but I'm still bad at it.
He just wants to be friends.
Oh, he didn't seem mad.
Now, how do you actually do this room? Because I always tank damage.
You just push the hands away. You can get the boots there and just keep on jumping, but you can also go the upper path.
Wow, it was that easy.
Yeah. The chest on top to the left is not like you might think it's an extra life, but it's not. I think it's a weapon pickup, so there's no real reason to go up there.
Well, I mean, there's all the, there's the scenery. I mean, if you're taking the full tour of this crazy house,
I suppose.
you want to know.
Yeah, Ramiro is just part of a tourist crew.
I've noticed in the background there seem to be like 4 things a whole bunch, like 4 deaths, 4 of these Anubis deaths, 4 skulls.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seems like there's some kind of sinister symbolism there.
Could be, I suppose.
There's also 4 of your guy. well, your team is 4 strong until they exterminate 3.
Yeah, that's true. Also, there are 4 demons in the demonic council or whatever they're called.
The Demon's Court, yes.
Demon's Court, yeah. It's 4 dudes. But then there's also Lucifer, so I guess it falls apart there. Also, I have 9 lives apparently, so I only get points. But you get a lot of points. 5,000 points for every 1-up after 9. And we're at the final boss, meaning it's time to die a few times. I'm sorry.
I understand. I've lived this.
Yeah. The sad part is that I did really well. Both attempts, I did really well. So it's gonna take a while. Once again, I'm sorry. But I can maybe talk a little bit of strategy, at least against the Demon's Court, which I think I know how to handle. When it comes to the demons shooting, that rain fireballs on you, you do not want to stand where they took off, because when they finish throwing fireballs, they will land in that vicinity. So you want to move away from there so you can just get some shots in on them when they land and not get the demon in your face. I'm still really bad at dodging the blue attack. I'm yet to figure that out in a satisfying fashion, but it's completely dodgeable. It's just that I haven't really figured it out.
Yeah, as
the
long as you
ranges
can
of it.
more or less stay alive and not... I mean, you're not trying to tank anything, then...
You see right here? Yeah. So basically I was like 2 hits away from winning. And once you beat Lucifer and there's only the evil heart left, you basically won. Like, you're not gonna fail that.
Well, you're not going to.
Well,
Most
I
of the
think
time.
you did. Did you die to it?
Yes.
Did?
I did, when you didn't tell me the trick when we raced this.
Oh, right.
That's, yeah. Like when I didn't remember that you're supposed to really nail it before it actually gets all started.
Yeah. But once you realize that as soon as Lucifer, you get the last hit on him, all of his attacks disappear, including his imps. Meaning you can just go stand inside his dying hitbox and just shoot upwards, and you can take off 80% of the Blackheart's health. That makes that last fight just a little bit easier, I would say. A little bit, in that it dies instantly. Once it starts moving, you just need to move with it and you win. In this instance, I took a hit from the Demon's Court, meaning I am dead, because I keep fucking up and dealing with the blue attack. Otherwise, you can bait out the fireball attack pretty well if you jump right before he's about to shoot it, but I had forgotten that you can do that, so I keep forgetting to do it, and so I have fewer chances to attack and put myself in more danger than I need to.
Well, the rest of the game has this ability to wear you down to the point. I don't know about you, but for me, it's hard at this point after you played for an hour to remember all the little things that you're supposed to do. Because the way that the game's laid out, there's not really a way to practice this, because to get here, you have to progress through the rest of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was easier in Hydorah just because we could save and then, you could internalize a new level and then play from the beginning really quickly and get back to where you were if you needed to. Although, when I play a long fight in a sequence. I do think I'm pretty good at internalizing like every little piece of information that I gain every time I fight, so I don't do it again.
And that is how you and I differ.
But in this case, well, first of all, he actually does attack a little bit differently depending on where you stand, so if you're not sure on how to manipulate his movements, you can get fucked over pretty easily if you don't do the exact same thing every time and just do small adjustments to avoid the attacks that got you last time. I wasn't thinking about that, I was just thinking, god damn it, I almost got him twice. In this case. Because I was thinking, no, I don't want to die, and I want to re-record again. No.
No,
help.
that food was terribly spicy. Why did this happen? Why did I let the demon's court cook? He grabs his stomach. Wow, that is even faster than I imagined.
Yeah. It doesn't even get a chance to use its soul attack, which is really harmless.
I remember going through the fire attack that it does if you let it, and it's not pretty.
That one's pretty dangerous, actually. At least if you don't know it's coming, because it's pretty fast. But if you do know how you can deal with the heart, it's like it's not even there, honestly.
And so everything caught fire, evidently. It was just...
Okay, that's it. That was the best ending. Goodbye. No.
Creepy pentagram.
Yep, more pentagrams. But this time we got a better ending, so... Aww. That's what he does.
There we go. There's... Oh, that makes sense. He has to get back somehow.
Yeah. And, I have to say, if you played Super Ghouls and Ghosts, I was gonna say that that's a pretty ugly horse. But if you played Super Ghouls and Ghosts, you know that the horse that Arthur rides at the end of that, that's an even uglier horse. That horse is kind of disgusting.
Portrait of Horse by King Arthur, age 4.5.
Something like that, yeah. It like has this creepily horse smile, showing its teeth all the time as it's riding. It looks really... looks like all the flesh around its lips have been torn away. Looks awful.
It's a haunted horse.
Doesn't draw many visitors. Visit the haunted horse!
Ooh! Whinny in fear as things happen.
Carrots appear from nowhere. Alright.
Sorry your friends died.
So everything that happens here is, you know, from the good ending. If you kill the final boss without using up 3 continues, this is what happens.
What a nice guy. I mean, he's still very, very thoughtful.
Yeah.
So it will be the feast for you. Are you gonna eat the guys? What is he saying?
I think he's saying, my dialogue was written by a Spaniard, I think is what it's saying. And it could have been better, but it's also an arcade homage, so it's all good.
You'll notice that the king is not eating any food. And so, oh, that's okay. I was about to say that Don Ramiro was going to be the royal taste tester or something.
Well, he still is. Alright, here we go. These are the achievements. All the extra little things we got, and we got all of them. Especially, I thought for the longest time for the longest time I thought Break Ptolemaeus' curse was that you had to pray at the altar that makes you take damage. But it's just to beat the game, actually.
Right.
I don't know what I thought that. I guess it was just because it's one of those... It's kind of a weird thing that, you know, doesn't make sense to do. And you take damage, which makes the section harder. So I figured... Also, I got an extra life from my endgame points right there, if you saw.
Feast on these never-ending chicken legs and cups.
And this only happens if you get all the achievements.
The arcade ages. With the arcade cages flying around. Hey, they messed up which arm he uses his sword with.
He doesn't use a sword.
His dagger. That thing's long enough to be a sword.
But he throws them.
They're gonna have to include the flipped sprite version of that in a different room.
God damn it. He went in there too, that's why he has his sword out. He's really angry because they made his statue. Doesn't look anything like me.
I'll show you carving of things, and then he guts them and loses all his achievements.
Why?
Be nice to the sculptors.
Now that's my final time. It's a terrible time compared to Mechanical Goat, the end.